toujours sur Eternal Strands. Je vais tenter de le terminer aujourd'hui. Donc ça devrait être peut-être probablement la dernière vidéo sur ce jeu-là, avant qu'on embarque sur un nouveau. Donc on va continuer où ce qu'on était arrêté la dernière fois. Ça, j'ai besoin de ça.
Dom and I have been running down the mystery of our alchemically odd plants and degraded scries. We've got a working
Salut l'autre
hypothesis,
gars qui peut
but
plus
we're
faire
going to need
d'insultes.
to lean on you again to prove it.
Ouais. Mets-moi pas au défi.
Ouais, je sais.
You're right on top of this.
I have been taking notes from my favorite point. She has this habit where she just drags things forward by force of will.
I do, don't I? There's just so much to do. Why ask permission when the next step is right there? What's led you to the hypothesis?
Dom's been digging into the scry and noticed some tiny changes in yours that he's not seen before. Lane used a few leftover petals from the Mirian's bloom to run more tests. You really have an incredibly talented team here.
As long as I don't have to do any more cross-swamp runs, count me in.
Worse, I'm afraid. We think the source of the problem might be the miasma.
Ce que j'aime aussi, c'est que dans des mots, on va à Honolulu et après ça à Madlantis.
Ouais.
Ben, dans le vrai jeu, c'est l'inverse.
Ah.
Everything.
On va à
We've
Madlantis
never
en
been able to
premier.
perceive or harvest them, but there's a school of thought that everything alive has a pattern in it. And if that pattern allows us to interact with and control magic, the theory goes that magic might be able to affect us in turn.
You think we're in danger?
Obviously, tangles are inherently dangerous, but that's the question we want to answer. Could they affect the creatures here in more subtle ways? Could too much magic explain the Spitfire's behavior? If so, we have to worry there might be long-term effects on all of us.
Spirits. How do we prove it?
You've been collecting resonance for all your time in here, as have our enchanters. That data gives us a baseline. What he needs, then, is a comparison resonance harvested during a miasma from any of the natural beasts. Arcs won't help, alas.
Right. I'll tackle it as soon as I can.
Oh, d'autres dangers. Convert. I'm in danger.
I'm almost surprised they had aeroliths down here.
I would surmise it was due to the delicate experiments. Stable climate eliminates one variable.
C'est Emergence Gate Beating Maze.
Oh non, je suis dans One Piece.
Bon, t'es dans One Piece à cette heure.
Ouais, parce qu'il y a un personnage, un NPC vient nous faire chier, il s'appelle Captain Beef, pis il rit en disant mouhouhou.
On va se faire poursuivre.
Ouais.
Don't mind me. Tiddly-dee.
intriguing to think of weaver smiths and priests working side by side down here.
The preachers you grew up with would launch an hour-long diatribe at the very thought, yeah?
An hour would just be the introduction.
Comment c'est aller chercher ça? Oui, 100% sûr, je t'ignore.
Ben là,
Mais toi
rien
aussi.
dit.
T'en as déjà trop dit.
Ben là.
This is promising. Detailed smithing logs with Xavier's name on them. Lots of sketched out designs. Mostly in the margins.
Doodles always help me think too. Is that bottled magma?
I've got one. I can't believe it's still warm. And you can feel the magic pulsing through it.
I wonder if proximity to the coral has affected it in some way.
I think that's all I'm going to find. Ow. Get your research hat ready, Lane. There's a lot.
I do not need a hat.
Bon, ça c'est correct, c'est manque un item. Oh, ça va être du fun à l'Institut.
Ça doit être plus le fun que le boss que je t'ai vu pas aimer.
Ne me défie pas.
See those massive pipes running along the roof? Norian design. I recognized them early. And they prompted my investigation into...
Bryn. Didn't expect the miasma to be so intense over the scry.
You get used to it. Just have to use a more gentle touch and feel the way it slides.
T'occuper de moi. Pas s'occuper de moi.
Ouais, ça prouve qu'il care.
Care, he care. Parti où? Ah non, pas le combat là. On annonce quand même.
Oh, excusez.
Vraiment.
Mhm.
In front of my potato salad.
Ouais.
T'es là, toi? Non, il est tombé. capable de péter. Ready? Ça va compter. Un strand. Oh boy. Avec les chances que ça arrive, je pense que. Ouais, j'ai jamais été ici.
This area is referred to only as the depths. Looks like it was hit hard by the surge.
Thanks, game. If you're struck by lightning, the ship will take damage. Ben, ok.
Ah ouais?
C'est carrément me dire, if you get hit, you'll get hit.
Pas si tu t'es frappé, tu t'es frappé.
Non.
Non, mais me protège tout ça. Bye. m'attaques de là, toi là. Ouais, j'ai l'impression qu'on passe un temps ici. Ok, donc. Oui! quand même pas faire ça tout de suite. Aïe aïe, dans la face. Lâche son asti de corps. Lâche l'arbre! Voyons! Ça fait du temps. Pas de l'air dedans. Il sait, asti, c'est quelle patte que j'ai besoin, lui. Bon, là, faut que je réussisse à l'amener. Pas par là. Ouais, mon beau, viens ici. Tu m'as fait sortir des potions. On va t'en pas trop loin. Je vais savoir qui est sous cet effet-là. Aussi loin. Viens juste donc ici. Oui, c'est ça, reste là. On va sérieusement pas réussir à faire ça.
Perfect for our study.
Bon, là, je suis reparti excessivement loin. Déteste. Oui. Ce canal-là, il commence à... entre vous. C'est où là? Je suis juste pas à la bonne place. Je ressemble. Il me semble que je suis pas mal là. Ça me dit rien. La joie. Mettre à tout briser non plus. Et on sait où ça? Ça va être dur de terminer le jeu si je suis pas capable de trouver la mission principale là. Oh, c'était haut pas mal ça. Aïe aïe. Ça sera jusque où? Ça en fait partie. J'imagine. Juste là me dire c'est où? Une petite lumière. Quelque chose là. Oh ouais, non, aucune idée. Je vais aller faire autre chose avant de virer fou.
What's the verdict with the resonance comparisons, Dom? Are we all doomed?
Not doomed, no, but I have every reason to be concerned. Tangles only form in areas of intense magical concentration. That they're so common here in the Enclave makes it clear that this place is overflowing with magic. Have you ever blown into a bladder until it popped? I worry that's where we're headed.
No. Have you?
Ah. Well, I am from Renland.
The patterns did show signs of change then.
Subtle but present. What was intriguing was watching them relax over time, as if the miasma caused them to contract like a muscle.
So things might recover if we could bring an end to the tangles.
I think so. How exactly we pursue that agenda, I'm not sure. We have several leads we can pursue.
We have to tell the Axel, though. She needs to know about this so we can take every precaution.
Oh, we?
Yeah. It's time. Meet you there.
This is really very clever.
You figured it out then?
Yes, Xavier's idea was to use an alchemical process similar to what Dharma and I just did to treat the coals. Elements left over from weaving flame strands distilled and used to treat magma.
Literal magma? The blood of the earth?
Enchanted magma. Measured precisely from one of Xavier's containers, he could delicately control temperature in a forge or foundry.
Sola will be over the moon. I'll let her know.
And I'll collate the more technical details. They'll be ready when she is.
Sola.
Magma. Can you believe it?
Is it not lava?
I thought it was only lava if it bubbled up from underground. But now I'll have to ask Lane.
You heard the news then?
Oh, I'm sorry, Bryn. We ruined the surprise.
It's fine. Just nice to see you so happy.
We're confident that between the two of us, we can make Xavier's plan work.
And I'm keen to try it out. I was up sketching all night, and I have an idea for some armor to act as a test. If it works, we'll gather more. The veil has to open someday, and with this magma, we could be on the road for months.
Or maybe we'll stay. Either option provides you many potential students.
Or maybe, just maybe,
We could do both.
we'll make it work. After we get this bloody enclave sorted out. Right, Bryn?
I have every faith we will.
Oh, oh. Armure. Très cool, mais j'ai pas besoin de hit résistance. Dans mon bonus préféré, mais bon. Ça, je peux pas rien faire, ça, je peux pas rien faire. Rien. Rien. Nada. Une amélioration.
You were really moving out there.
I was told time was of the essence.
Yeah, but you made it look easy. Maybe someday you could give classes to the novice scouts.
I'd be delighted. But I need permission to be a total hard-ass. That work?
Wins, yes. Ooh, we'll introduce you as Coach Bryn and you can wear like really tight pants.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
No, I swear.
It's okay, Eric. I'm just teasing. But if you get afloat opportunities to make you blush, I have to go for it. And more to the point, I'm game. We'll tackle it when the dust is all settled.
Je vais voir les Axel. Là. pas vraiment ce que je voulais. Hein. Ça, j'ai besoin. Non, c'est purified.
So, I strongly suspect shenanigans, but also thank you.
About the stove?
Oh, absolutely. But shenanigans almost always come from a place of love.
Or lead to one?
Well said. And this forge is going to be invaluable, so we all benefit, including the future students I'm imagining up.
Any standouts in your illusory class?
There's a shy, red-headed lad named Carlos. He's going to go far. I just know it.
Qu'est-ce que c'est d'autre?
Both of you this time. Must be important.
It is. We've identified a long-term risk to our people. A source of decay in our enchanted devices. And I've prepared a list of safety measures we should take.
You have.
Yes, we... Wait. Why did you say that like you already know?
Arakim, do you know how intense the competition to become Axel truly is? Even in our diminished state, it is ruthless. Each guild jockeying for its representative to be elevated. To win the seat, you need allies, knowledge, and the will to use both.
You've been watching us this whole time.
I have been watching you, Bryn. Yes. I have been judging Arakim.
Always a test.
What I have seen is growth. Your enthusiasm and energy has never been in question. But your judgment and initiative have often been rash. But in working with Bryn's band, I've seen you set goals, lead plans, move from asking permission to making your case, just as you came here to do, did you not? To lay out a set of clear steps we should take to preserve our new scries and keep our people safe?
Yes, that is exactly what I was gonna do.
You should act on your recommendations with my complete support. I know you're not making them lightly, and they affect your people the most. So yes, it was a test. And as Khan, it will be the first of many.
You just said Khan.
I did. The scouts have been ignored for far too long, as we try to pretend everything is as it was. Unless you disagree, Arik.
No, not at all. We've been pushing for this forever.
Good. And you should thank Bryn when we're done. She raised a very salient point in our last chat that swept away the last of my hesitations. Now take a knee, would you? There's work to be done, and neither of us is really built for fancy ceremonies. If we have learned anything in the past while, it's that standing too firmly on ceremony costs us time and opportunities. We, as a people, would have withered and died without the tireless efforts of your scouts and their forebearers. And yet we have not recognized them out of fear of tipping a balance that was already lost. And so I elevate you, Arakim Katabi, to the station of Khan of the Enclave, and grant you the title of Guide. May your initiative and care chart a path for us all.
C'est rendu full important. Dredgersmire. Boulderville. Pogné tous les deux. Oui.
That might be Isla's secret workshop. It's actually not too far from Lucia's workshop. Isla dedicated her life to restoring the Arks. Darm's right. We will need to continue her research. What should consider sacred to her own. A letter from the Axel. I should take it back to her. A toy Archon. That's sweet. Darm, do you think this could work for the Rite of Ashes?
It's perfect.
Huh. Isla also had a copy of On the Workings of Archons. Marked with annotations, just like Lucia's. Wait, I'm losing you.
You hear me better now?
Yeah. Weird. The scry was cutting out.
Strange. At any rate, the book could be useful. Once you've completed the ritual, I'll take a look.
Upper Ginevron Hollow Power Buyer. Voyons.
I'll need to place the toy ark on the high pyre. Sad to burn such a sweet toy.
Burn.
protect the ashes. Though the flame abates and the ash grows cold, let she who worshipped you rest in eternal warmth.
Beautiful, Bryn.
I'm sure I will.
There it is again. The scry is cutting in and out. Dom? Aurea?
We're... Can you hear me now?
You're back.
While you bring the ashes to Cassidon's hold, I'll analyze the scry. Something strange is afoot.
See those massive pipes running along the roof? Norian design. I recognized them earlier, and they prompted my investigation into the Norians and the Enclave.
Confirming your findings that the Norians were heavily involved in the tapestry.
Ça va me donner un indice, ça. Les tuyaux.
This should be the place, Bryn. You're looking for tablets with a circle marked by 6 dots. They'll look blank, but I'll be able to read them when you bring them back.
You're full of useful secrets, Zev.
Tablette. Ok, il était vraiment pas là tantôt. Là. Je tourne en rond pour rien, il était même
That's
pas
one
paru.
of them, Bryn. I hoped they would still be down here.
What should we expect?
The Norians were experimenting without informing the Enclave on the aerolifts. They wanted them to do more than just moderate the weather. They wanted to control it.
They got tired of long winters? Gloomy days?
Think bigger. If you control the rain in a desert, you control the land itself.
J'ai passé quasiment une demi-heure tantôt à tourner en rond, il était juste pas apparu. Ah, ouais, je l'ai.
And then the priest says, that's not how you extinguish the holy flame.
I thought you never extinguished the holy flame.
They make certain exceptions when it threatens centuries-old tapestries.
You never talked about your time in the church.
They're not happy memories.
No. But they're yours.
Then let's not fight again so I have more time to share them.
That's unreasonable. Let's just make sure we're talking.
Of course, my love. After all, I love you like... I love you.
I love you too.
Trop cute. J'ai pas eu ce que j'avais besoin. Oh, il y en avait.
Bryn, I was just thinking about how we managed to trap the heat of molten rock itself.
And you and your wife seem through a complicated patch?
I never doubted we would find a way through. This time was different than the other spats we've had. I am very grateful for your help. I would not know what to do without Sola. She is very much my guiding star.
You're welcome. You big romantic. Just keep talking to her, and the nights will be cloudless.
Indeed. Indeed. I think we all suspected prolonged exposure to the raw magic in here would affect creatures, but it's surprising to see how far it's gone.
Is it possible the same thing is happening to us? Or has happened to the Hearthsiders?
Well, it's long been theorized we must have something akin to Strands in us. They've never manifested like in a great creature. On one hand, this means we need mantles to mimic what they do naturally. On the other, Asha, Cassil, and so on seem less affected by the Enclave. It's not like Arakim has grown a third arm. I think we can presume safety for some time.
You think this is caused by something other than direct contact with raw magic, like the Tangles?
Oh, yes. It's that the air is so thick with magic that tangles can even form. It's unprecedented, and thank the flames for that. Imagine if every creature across the Maida acted as aggressive as the ones you're facing.
What do we do about it, though?
Our first step has to be securing the source. If it's the reason the Enclave had access to so much magic before the Surge, it's also why things are so suffused with raw magic. You see, this is largely an infrastructure problem. The leaks in the tapestry will have to be sealed and magic slowly consumed through usage. If we can reduce the emission of raw magic to below our consumption, the concentration will drop. Once the levels inside match the rest of the Maida, should be back to some semblance of normal.
It's nice to have the camp stove working properly again, even if it took Casmin quietly tossing our coal supply into the hollow one night to make it happen.
Wait, she did?
Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that, but Dharm and Sola have reconciled, which I suspect was her whole plan, so hopefully it's okay. Still, Kaz doesn't like for people to know she's a romantic at heart.
Oh, well, I am very glad you mentioned this. Thank you, Lane.
Just go easy on the teasing. I don't want her to serve my stew cold all week.
Non. J'irai pas en parler. Hello.
So, I was having a chat with Lane.
Oh?
Said something about you stashing coal outside the camp.
Oh, gods, they saw that?
Sure did.
Oh, I was so careful. Listen, Bryn, you know why I did it, right?
Because our enchanter and Smith need to keep working together.
Yes, and they need to keep talking. They're so good together. So, I did what I had to. Just don't tell anyone, okay?
Kaz,
Yeah?
I think everyone knows. Except maybe Dharm.
Gods, that's embarrassing.
We might want to sneak that coal back into the stocks at some point.
Already did. It was distracting to know the count was wrong.
Ah, lui. Allô.
I performed the rite, and I brought you the ashes.
Thank you, Bryn. Isla admired you. She would be honored that you did this for her.
It's not how she would have wanted things. I should have been there.
Enough! I know you're grieving. We all are. But you are no longer the Eye. And this disrespectful conduct ends now. You owe Bryn a thank you. And an apology for that matter. And probably a great deal more than that. Not only has she gone out of her way to perform the rite for your daughter, but she saved us all from certain death at the Grand Gate too. None of which she would ever have had to do if it weren't for your...
For my actions! I know! I know! It's all my fault. I should have been there. Not at the temple. At the Grand Gate. I should have stayed. The way she looked at me when I left her there. Never forget it. I could fill a city with my mistakes. I should have supported her work. I should never have lied to her. My regrets will drown me.
Maybe they should.
Maybe they should.
My mother used to say, you can drown in your grief, or learn to swim in it. It is unfair that you lost a child, no matter the circumstances.
Elle a raison.
I am so
Même si je
sorry
l'aime pas.
that happened to you. But now you have a choice. You can spend the rest of your days counting the ways you failed your daughter. Or you can dedicate every breath you have left to her.
How?
Just do one small thing a day that would make her proud to call you her father. Start by helping us finish the work you wish you had supported in her life.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid. If you'll excuse me. But there is one thing. The Ark in your camp, the one she wanted to restore. It's called the Ark of Verdance. An enchantress named Lucia de Crassus built it.
Lucia.
Consider it a thank you.
Je reviens.
Done.
Hey. Okay, doody.
You deserve better from him. But that was probably all he's capable of. Come to think of it, we all deserved better from him.
What will you do now?
Take care of my people. Someone needs to. And you? You're going to try to fix the arcs.
Isla saw something in the arcs no one else did. The Enclave's legacy, innovation and ambition. We can't let her death be in vain. Her work must be finished.
I wish I could help, but arcs were Isla's expertise, not mine. Still, I agree. That arc allowed you to pass safely through the tangles, where Surgeborn go to regenerate. If you're going to try to fix it, consider me heavily invested in your progress.
It's too great an advantage to ignore. I'll keep you updated.
My light. I remember the day you were born, vividly.
Yep.
When I held
Yep.
you, my heart was so full it threatened to break. And I know your mother felt the same way. For all her flaws, she would be so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
Could we just fill our lives with slow mornings in your tent from now on?
There you go.
You'll get no complaints here. I'd take every chance I can get to watch the sunrise with you.
How do you do it?
Do what?
Make rest bearable. I've never been one to just sit in stillness. In fact, before you, lazing around sounded like torture. Not making the most of every second made me want to claw my skin off.
That sounds so sad to me.
I guess it was. With you, I can just be. And it's enough.
I know what you mean.
Really? Because it seems like you've been an expert at staying present long before I came along. Sometimes it feels like you're ahead of me on a lot of this stuff.
I guess I've always thought that happiness only exists in the present. Planning too much for the future breeds anxiety, and meditating too much on the past breeds loss. So I have always tried to just be, as much as anyone can. But with you, these slow moments somehow make me feel irrelevant? That sounds bad, but I mean it in a good way.
I know. Like, there's no one to save and nothing to fix. The world just melts away. The spindle sacrificed everything for us. We could have lost Ren just as quickly.
Dom, the interference I'm experiencing during expeditions is concerning. Is there any chance our scry is degrading like the ones belonging to the Enclave?
No. I'm positive this is something else entirely. Our scry remains unchanged. We have the means to test for degradation, and there is none. I'll need to investigate further.
As long as it doesn't give out on us completely in the meantime.
However, I have taken a look at the Spindle's copy of the workings of Archons, and thankfully, the writing is far more legible than Lucia's. And her notes are significantly less paranoid at that.
About that, Kenrick Stanold told me that Lucia wasn't just tinkering with the Ark we followed through the Veil. She built it. The Ark of Verdance.
That is quite the revelation. What was it for?
That was all Kenrick could tell me. Or wanted to tell me. But Sev mentioned that Kenrick had been feeding Isla information about a failsafe for the Source. Could the Ark of Verdance be the fix she was working on without realizing it?
Yes. Yes! That could be it. Genius, Bryn. On my side, I dug into her notes. She was working on a way to fully restore our Ark for us. She was so close to a schematic, intricate, elaborate, masterful. And I finished it. Solar has the final design ready for you. Essentially, we'll be creating a power core for the Ark. Most notably, we'll need a special part, a bar of shaped coral. This is the final key for an Ark to be functional on its own without a Weaver channeling magic into it.
If we had built a power core earlier, could her death have been prevented?
She only made this discovery in the final days of her life, researching all the Ark parts we had supplied her. Her research even theorizes that using one's own magic to power an Ark for brief amounts of time could result in death.
So she knew she was going to die at the Grand Gate?
She knew exactly what would happen, and did it anyway. That's courage.
We can't let it be in vain. So, then the Ark of Verdance is our failsafe. Your design will get it running. Where can I find the shaped coral?
She suspected it was kept in the Archon's hearth, stored near natural coral deposits for its regenerative properties.
Have you ever felt like you couldn't trust the people around you?
A few times. But I try my hardest to rebuild that trust when it crumbles. Some people haven't shown they deserve that effort, so they don't get it. Is there something that's putting you on edge?
It's Sev, and how he was collaborating with the Eye behind our backs.
Oh? I can understand, but you didn't exactly seem blown away by the revelation.
I didn't have time to process it. I have now, and the more I think about it, the more upset I feel. Logically, I understand the situation. I can trace the weave of circumstance that forced his hand and led to his deception. I know he had no choice, and I've even forgiven him. I said the words to his face, so why am I still so angry?
That's a tough one.
It reminded me again of Udea. Will the fear and the manipulation follow me forever? Will it taint everything? The secrets, the lies, the subterfuge. The Maida may seem a balmy paradise, but in reality, it is a toxic swamp. Every fiber of my being is screaming at the prospect of having my life ruined by this again.
All right. It's clear that sitting around base camp chewing on this isn't doing you any good. You need a distraction.
Possibly. What did you have in mind?
The Axel must be overwhelmed right now. Let's find something to help her with.
I'm amenable to this. Shall I let you ask her, or...?
Oh no. You're coming with me.
I suppose it'd be good to catch up with her, and I'll meet you at Cassidan's Hold, then. See you soon.
Oh, did he not... Et t'as-tu fini like a pirate?
Nope. Prendre une pause sur Dyson Sphere Program.
De toute façon, les jeux de même, c'est pas long, les Like a Dragon.
Ben, les
You're going to
les
speak to
spin-offs le sont
Tyler.
pas, effectivement.
I don't expect to get much out of it, but
Ils
yes.
disent l'histoire de Like a Pirate
Clearly
fait
the Talon
15
was
heures.
able to manipulate Kenrick.
Ouais, sauf qu'ils ont l'habitude de mettre ben du stock autour.
And while I know
No.
you're not the idiot he is, speaking to that thing is risky.
I just have to find out what I can. If the Talon has any insight that can help us.
It's a risk
Dans
worth
Dyson
taking,
Sphere,
I
j'ai eu
know.
la merveilleuse idée d'installer
Just
ma
don't reveal anything
une mine
in the
de
process.
unipolar magnet sur une planète à 20 années-lumière à peu près. Avec 13 bases ennemies dessus.
Faut que tu conquérisses la planète. Là.
Ben c'est ça, là faut que je retourne sur ma planète pour aller chercher un armada puis j'y retourne. Ça me prend juste beaucoup d'énergie.
Ben oui, je sais pas pourquoi.
Is there
Je
anything
vais à
else you can tell
25% de la
me
vitesse de
about
la
the
lumière. Puis ça me prend 3 vraies minutes.
Please. I've had enough. Just leave me be.
Fine. I understand.
En plus, j'ai mes recherches qui ont arrêté, je sais pas pourquoi. Il y en a un qui fournit plus.
You certainly wear emergency powers of...
Ah non, c'est pas 20 années-lumière, c'est 30 années-lumière.
Lane,
Non, ben plus vite.
to what do I owe the pleasure?
Mhm.
We're hoping that there's something you can help us
De la
with.
façon que je l'ai construit, c'est que j'ai fait un carré de tourelles autour de...
La planète, j'espère.
Non, de juste de ma mine.
Or rather, we're hoping
Le
that
problème,
there's
c'est que j'ai
something we
besoin
can
de
help you with.
copper pour construire les balles pour les rentrer dans les tourelles. Ça prend 30 années-lumière pour mon vaisseau aller porter les balles. Là. Ben, aller porter le copper.
On peut pas te faire
Parce
une
que
base
tu
plus
sais où
proche.
la seule veine de copper sur cette planète-là? En plein milieu de 3 bases.
Ben, commence par ça.
Ben, c'est ça que je veux faire, mais j'avais juste 300 vaisseaux sur moi et ça a pas été assez pour péter une base.
Une stick de base.
I'm not sure I follow.
Mhm.
I've been at a loose end, gnawing on painful thoughts, only growing more despondent.
Là, à la
in the
vitesse que
process.
je vais, 893 mètres à la seconde, ça va me prendre 8h42 minutes avant de me rendre à mon système de départ.
So
Ben, à soir, elle
we're
devrait
here
être pas
to
pire.
focus on problems that are a little
Ah
more
ouais?
tangible. What can
Il
we
faudrait
help you with?
récupérer un petit peu d'énergie. Je peux relancer le Hyper Speed.
That
Ça va me
is
prendre 40 secondes.
very kind of you. I've had a great deal of
J'aurais pas assez
difficulty
d'énergie
keeping
pour
on top
40
of things.
secondes.
I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you.
Ça va te prendre 7 heures au moins.
We're here to help.
C'est plus vite.
Ah, là, ça va m'en prendre 4h41.
Hey.
Right. I've got a petition from the scouts here somewhere. Let me find it. Arakim has been nagging me about accessing the Archon's hearth. Its stores of raw material could busy our forge masters for months. Now that I'm technically in charge, I'm loath to follow Kenrick's lead in recklessly sending the scouts into dangerous situations. What I'm lacking to make that call is intelligence on the Archon's hearth. Our documentation is decades out of date.
I've already spent a lot of time in there, actually. It was pretty hot, from what I recall.
Dangerous too, one would assume. Can you elaborate on what you saw in there?
While exploring where the
Oh
arcs
shit,
were
ils ont
assembled,
détruit
I could
5 de
help
mes
imagine
tourelles.
how busy it must have been back before the surge.
Ouais, tu te débrouilles un petit peu plus, là.
Archons seem big
Je
when I'm
veux
fighting them,
bien, mais
but the
32
spirit
années-lumière,
feels totally
c'est
different when
long.
they're attached to a scaffold.
Fascinating.
C'était le unipolar magnet le plus proche en plus.
Well, it was only one area that was particularly hot, but all of it was dangerous.
I assume you refer to the Arcane Foundry then?
Yeah, it was on another level to what you've got here at the Hold, or what we have at camp. I can't imagine how many Archon parts they produced per day. The most interesting part was where they grew the coral. I could feel the magic running through it.
It is a reminder that there are still lost secrets to be found.
Exactly. Anyway, there's lots going on in there. Do you think it's safe enough to send in the scouts?
Not quite. I still have grave concerns about the fluctuating heat levels.
I believe I may have a solution for that. A potion that will maintain your body temperature even in the hottest conditions. I don't quite have the equipment to make it yet, but the knowledge is there.
That's wonderful news. That said, I would like a demonstration to be sure they work.
A fair stipulation. Some sort of combat encounter in the Archon's hearth under the hottest possible conditions.
Tu sais qui s'est dit que c'était une bonne idée de faire l'espace aussi immense.
Ouais, hein? Pas ce qui est le cave qui a fait que l'univers est gros.
You know I'm always up for a challenge.
I have no doubt in your abilities after what I've witnessed you achieve.
Well then, I'll be back once I've felled a mighty construct.
Pourquoi je m'embarque là? Pas d'entrée de feu, toi.
Et les cubes verts, ils fournissent plus.
Quoi, il fournit plus?
Mes cubes verts.
Pas les verts.
Là.
J'ai jamais là-dedans, les autres.
Oh, je suis arrivé. What do you mean, my greens fournissent plus? La ligne est pleine. Ah oui, parce que j'ai arrêté de développer avec du Green Cube.
Voilà.
Pourquoi il se remplissait pas depuis tantôt? C'était stock. Wait. C'est mes rouges.
Tes green ou tes rouges sont dans le trou.
C'est mes rouges qui sont dans le trou. Ah, tu me niaises-tu? J'ai du charcoal qui s'est mélangé avec mes charcoal.
C'est du charcoal qui est mélangé avec du charcoal, c'est problématique.
Mhm.
Ça fait quoi, du charcoal?
Non, j'ai du coal puis du energetic graphite qui est fabriqué à partir du coal. Mais ça me prend juste le energetic graphite pour mes cubes rouges. Mais là, ça marche plus parce que j'ai du coal qui s'est mélangé à ça. Boy. On vide mon inventaire. Tout ce que j'ai pas de besoin. On va faire un coffre avec ce que je veux pas perdre. Essayer de le mettre quelque part d'intelligent aussi. Faut pas perdre le coffre non plus. Comment ça manque de place? Sur ma planète, oui.
Ta planète est trop petite.
Bro, tu vois pas tout le stock que j'ai là-dessus. M'a gardé les missiles, toujours utile. Pas besoin des corvettes.
Grosse corvette, petite kékette. C'est
Plus
juste
besoin
ça
de
que
toi. Faut que je garde les tourelles aussi. Il va me falloir plus qu'un coffre. Oups. Là, je peux aller me remplir de vaisseaux. Oh no.
Oh oui.
J'ai plus d'énergie nucléaire dans ma pause. Shit.
Ouais, mais c'est mal tout ça.
Ok. On va aller unlock le Artificial Sun. Regarde, où c'est que t'as caché mes vaisseaux?
Ils ont tous été pétés.
Ah, mais je m'en construis d'autres. Je les ai trouvés. J'en ai juste 444, ça va bien.
Le moment que...
Ça va aller mieux avec celui-là. J'en ai 3400.
encore buggé, c'est pour ça qu'il me le montre pas.
The Archon's hearth once more. Wish Isla was here to guide me.
I could assist in her absence.
What the? Bryn, what? Aurea, the scry has been compromised by the searchable. Stay off it.
Compromised is such a strong word. I just want to talk. So, what I'm looking for in the Archon's files. Really, it works well. It is my region.
Like I would tell you.
Whatever plan you've concocted, it would be better if we work together.
You murdered my friend.
Technically, I didn't touch her. Because I thought she lacked the stamina to follow through on what she started.
Non, ça bouge pas. On va y arriver. Vite, 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 vite. Non. C'est ma nouvelle tactique. Oui! Trop loin. Non! Pas tant bon finalement. Ah oui! Je peux le faire trop haut. Première potion. Allez. Là, on va faire grand chose. Ouais, oh. Hey, là, j'ai hâte de finir cette maudite mission-là. On dirait qu'il n'y a jamais un qui marche. Elle marche jamais. Ça, des trucs apparaissaient pas. Là, il m'en manque un. C'est plus du miasma, ouais. Cette année. Ah, ça a été un petit peu à bout de cette mission-là. Ça, j'ai été chercher. Ça, ben, c'est plus à la même place. J'en ai eu un. Je sais pas d'en avoir plus. moins que je suis vraiment stupide, là. Je sais pas, là, il est-tu bugué encore? Je trouve ça plate. Là, j'ai fait le tour pas mal de fois. Et là, je m'enligne puis que le jeu veut pas que je finisse le jeu. C'était une mission secondaire au moins.
Oh, Bryn! How did it go?
It worked amazingly. In fact, I was almost too cold.
Oh, I must have prepared it incorrectly. Perhaps too much stirring.
I'm kidding, Lane. It was perfect.
Ah, your elevated wit eludes me once again.
If you two are done messing around, it's excellent to hear that the potions worked. Lane, what sort of quantities can we produce for the scouts?
As much as you need. It's not hard to make.
That's very good news. I wonder why the Eye never explored this as an option.
I would assume the reason sits somewhere between lack of care and gross negligence. Speaking of the Eye, Bryn, the Axel and I had a chance to sit and talk for a while. Would you believe that she isn't his biggest fan either?
There were some subtle context clues that tipped me off.
We were indeed not very cordial with each other at the best of times.
In particular, the way he kept secrets rubbed us both the wrong way. We found ourselves in agreement that any new government here should be built on a foundation of trust and respect.
A foundation that will only be built if we secure our survival. Lane and I don't agree on everything, but it was good to sit and speak with someone who understands the nature of the work I'm doing.
It's not every day that one has the privilege of watching a new order emerge.
Perhaps you will be here to document it.
I should like that very much. The story of a new enclave should be made available to all. I'm struck with inspiration. I need to return to base camp and get started on my history. To be here as it's being written. To be the one writing it.
Oh, they're gone. Do they always do that?
Yes, that's a fairly frequent occurrence.
Well, with my mind at ease, for now, at least, I will thank you and bid you farewell. My list of petitions is smaller by one, for the moment.
We're here to help. Talk later.
On les voit ici. T'as l'air de vouloir jaser.
You.
Hello to you too. Why don't you try greeting me with a smile?
How do you have access to our scry?
Magic.
Seriously?
Your scry is connected to Gloom Gates and by extension the tapestry, which spans all through the underworks. No system is impenetrable. I found a way in.
I want you out of my ear. Now. I'm sick of your voice.
And yet you came back to see me. Puzzling.
You're impossible.
I knew you'd be back. Dreadfully predictable.
And here I thought I surprised you. Or was your herald getting kicked back to the source part of the plan?
Don't steal credit. Your great icon pushed us back, not you. And I'm quite certain it didn't survive the battle. Judging by the way you charged straight to the Grand Gate upon hearing my plan, you favor misguided heroics. Let me guess. You're going to try for a rematch.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Let's not lie to each other. I like you.
Can't say the feeling's mutual.
Come now, I want to be confidants. Friends, even.
Fine. Let's be friends. Why don't you tell me what the Surgeborn are after so I can help you get it?
I told you, don't lie to me. But because my offer of friendship is genuine, I'll tell you. I'm after the same thing you're after. Magic. And the power that comes with it.
But Surgeborn already wield magic.
Not nearly enough of it. You know the lust for magical power is insatiable. Why else are you risking everything to tear strands of it from behemoths?
I'm not power hungry.
Don't lie. Especially when your actions betray your words with such ease.
How did you end up down here anyway?
I let myself be captured.
Why?
It became apparent that I wasn't going to uncover the secrets behind the Enclave's power by razing its capital to the ground. Oh, I do miss the razing. Still, I needed intel that I could only get from the inside. So I allowed myself to be captured and waited until the leader of the Enclave came to visit me alone one day. Kenrick had influence and insecurities, making him the perfect target. He felt quite special that I only spoke to him. It helped that he assumed our herald couldn't pass through the Grand Gate when he staged his attack.
How did it get through? The resonance modulator should have filtered out Surgeborn.
You didn't have a sample of that particular Surgeborn.
In my experience, Kenrick Stanold isn't exactly the trusting type. How did you convince him to open up to you?
I played the part of his distressed prisoner. Please don't hurt me. I'll do anything you ask. I'll tell you anything you want to know. Let me live. He was all too willing to believe I was helpless. After all, that would mean he had power.
The Hearthsiders believe you were born out of the Surge. Is that really where you come from?
I will keep some secrets to myself. For now.
I thought we were friends.
Not yet. But we will be. And when that day comes, I will share more with you.
Kenrick Stanold is in rough shape after being your confidant.
I would never treat you like I treated him. You're different. Special. Trust me. In time, you'll consider us kindred spirits.
Doubt it.
See you soon. The rite of ashes you performed for Kenrick's daughter was quite a display. I almost shed a tear.
Were you watching on our scry?
I can only access your scrying while you're in the underworks. Thankfully, I have eyes everywhere.
You're watching me through the other Surgeborn.
There are no other Surgeborn. We are one and the same.
Almost like the way bees work together in a hive?
If that makes it simple for you, close enough. Anyway, pity you couldn't save her. Is that why you dropped everything to perform a funeral rite for someone you barely know?
She was a friend, and you murdered her. Don't expect to survive long enough to kill someone else I care about.
Technically, I did not kill her. Her limitations are what destroyed her in the end. Funny how magic often provokes overreaching in your kind.
What are you talking about?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Bon. Je vais voir ça. Arcane Forge. Bas.
I must be getting close to where the Enclave stored shaped bars. Will the Surgeborn know our plan when I pick it up? I guess that's a risk I need to take.
D'avoir autant de que ça d'un coup.
Whatever you're planning to do with that is nothing compared to what we could accomplish if we put our minds together.
I can manage well enough.
You can do so much more than manage.
The Surgeborn in the Howling Jail somehow has access to the scry.
We know. I can feel it in there with me. It's not pleasant. We need to do something fast.
The good news is, as far as we can tell, it only has access when you're in the underworks. At most, it seems to cause interference when you're above ground. We don't think it can listen in.
Until we can block its presence, best to keep use of the scry to a minimum.
Aurea, I could feel the Surgeborn too. I know exactly what you mean.
Doesn't feel great.
The kind of nausea that only comes from the wind being knocked out of you.
It takes a lot out of me to stay connected to you when it's present, let alone speak.
That must be why there's interference.
What you're both describing, it makes me wonder if the Eye was under a deeper influence from the Surgeborn than we realized.
How so?
We assumed he was merely manipulated into a foolhardy plan, but what if the Surgeborn had some sort of effect on his mind?
I could believe it. But if that's the case, then we need to limit Bryn's exposure to it through the scry.
And yours.
I don't think it's me the Surgeborn wants to influence. From the sounds of it, it wants you.
Weavers need a physical connection to the scry to communicate, either by wearing the earpiece or touching the scroll. The Surgeborn doesn't have either. So how is it connecting to our scry?
Well, let's start with what we know. The imprisoned Talon was able to convince Stanild to open the gate. But the Herald was there and waiting. It was not surprised at all, despite the scout's distractions. Ergo, the Herald and Talon were communicating somehow, yet the Talon had been imprisoned for years. Would it not be reasonable to suggest the Surgeborn can communicate with one another using...
L'épaule la bonne place partout.
Dans une flaque de lave empoisonnée.
Non, au milieu de 5 bases différentes.
5 de tes bases.
Non, base ennemie.
Est-ce que tout va te tuer là-dedans?
The implications are
Non, j'ai
frankly staggering, but it
survécu
is the
ça.
only explanation I can think of for what we've observed. And if I'm correct, it's not such a leap to imagine creatures like this, or perhaps a creature, would be capable of infiltrating our scry.
Let's hear it. How bad is all this?
The scry is a complex piece of Weaver enchantment. That this Surgeborn has broken in is not good.
We still don't know exactly what it wants, but if it continues to infiltrate our constructs, this could mean an all-out war.
War?
Imagine they gain control of the Enclave's arcs. Sure, they're dangerous now, but with a sentient strategist behind them, they could storm the Maida in a couple of 100 strides.
You think the Surgeborn's interests expand beyond the Enclave?
With an enemy as calculated as this, best to assume the worst.
All right. How are we going to fix this?
The reason Aurea can sense the Surgeborn presence on the scry is likely because it's wielding magic to communicate. The same way Aurea's mantle pulls magic from the air to contact you. However, unlike Aurea, the Surgeborn can't pull magic from the air around it. Otherwise, it would be talking to you all the time.
But it can only reach me when I'm underground.
Where the tangles are most dense. We need to cut off its access to raw magic.
That's where the spindle comes in. Thanks to her, we finally have the missing piece to get our escort here running.
It was a failsafe in the case that the source needed to be repaired. The Ark of Verdance will create a safe bubble against the tangles, which would be the natural consequence of any failure of the source.
Just like it did with the Veil.
Exactly. But without the crushing weight that caused it to fail.
So, the plan. We get the Ark to the source, it stabilizes the Enclave.
Or at the very least, starts the process.
If the Herald waiting down there doesn't destroy it first, I'll need to take it down. If this plan is going to work.
That sounds dangerous.
It might be a risk worth taking.
We have to. The Enclave is overflowing with raw magic, and this source is clearly the root of the problem. Too many tangles have led to the floods. They allow the Surgeborn to communicate and infect our enchantments.
Holy
Without the source under control,
it's all out
we
war.
will never reclaim the Enclave.
Il vient de sortir vainqueur de là.
Then that's our plan. We
Isn't
build a
it?
power core, then we speak to the Axle.
I'll join you at Cassidon's Hold.
And with this power core, we can fix our Arc of Verdance. I think this is what they call a full circle moment.
Huh. Lately, I feel like I've been running in circles.
Hey, I know things look bleak, but this is a win. Don't let the Talon rob you of it. You're finishing her work, after all.
You're right.
I always am. Now, I think you've got a meeting with the Axle.
It's a little bit beautiful, isn't it? It's like reaching into the past and shaking hands with its designer. We have achieved much.
I think she'd be happy to see it up and running.
I think so too. Plans set in motion decades ago. Slowly ticking towards fruition.
These scavenge from the arc of the forge and turn from its armor. J'avais pas vu ça. C'est bien, c'est là que je m'en vais. Encore. J'ai juste besoin de péter son armure. Bon, là, je suis un peu tanné. Absolument rien. Ta, 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 ta. Je vais aller ici. C'est toujours pas si haut. Ah, bon. Le gros gars là que j'ai ramassé un. What? Comment? fait ça.
Second corps détruit, je suis en train de gagner la guerre.
C'est pas été long. Un gros combat.
Bro. C'est l'apocalypse là, on va faire. C'est ce que je fais, c'est j'avance tranquillement, mais des tourelles vers le cœur des places.
Et y'a si contrôle de ce jeu-là des fois. Là.
Deuxième corps rempli. Ça veut dire qu'ils feront pas reconstruire là.
Bon, j'ai tout ce que je voulais.
An offering for you, Julius. Time to talk to Arik. I've made an offering for Eugenius's grave.
Great. Here's the key swatch to his farm. That's where he was buried. I'll join Aurea at the scry when you arrive.
Are you sure you don't want to be the one to place the offering? This was your idea, after all.
It will be more meaningful for her if it's you. Trust me.
All right. Thank you for this.
What is this place?
Osphine pastures. Your father's farm. I thought you'd want to see it for yourself.
My father lived here.
More than lived. He gave his blood, sweat, and tears for the Enclave here. Eugenius Osphine may not have a statue in Denevron for excellence in weaving or kissing the eye's arse, but he kept the surviving weavers afloat during the aftermath of the Surge.
I had no idea.
After the Surge, he only kept enough produce to take care of himself and his workers. The rest went to weavers across the Enclave, and his generosity led to many helping him in return.
I can't believe he did so much for the Enclave.
He was a true leader, if not in the most traditional way. A community of workers formed around him, including ex-points, who would transport his food across the Enclave in these caravans. Many of whom went on to form the Scouts as an organization that still exists within Cassidon's Hold today.
So that's how you know all this.
Before the Arcs began malfunctioning, they were integral to farming across the Enclave. Many farmers refused to stop using them because of their efficiency, even at the risk of their farmhands being attacked. But your father scrapped his Arcs as soon as he got wind of the first malfunction to keep his workers safe.
That can't have been an easy decision.
But he made it, anyway.
Everyone thought he was mad at the time, but in a few months, when the attacks became widespread, his forethought was recognized. After the Surge, aftershocks destroyed many farms, including this one. Tangles spread across the land, crops began to die. While other farmers abandoned their livelihood, Eugenius never did. He had to rebuild many times, but he weathered every storm.
Wow. My mother told me he was driven.
Of all his workers, Eugenius was said to be the first one in the field each morning and the last to leave at night.
He sounds a lot like you, Aurea. This looks like a wooden carving of your mother, Aurea.
Please, bring it back for me.
Of course. This must be your father's grave, Aurea. I'll place an offering here. It certainly won't be lonely. Are all these offerings for Eugenius, Eric? Some of the flowers are fresh.
The Scouts continue to take care of his grave to this day, to honor all the sacrifices he made for the Enclave.
He must have been an incredible man.
This is so much more than I ever could have expected. Thank you for showing me, Eric. Truly. And Bryn, when you come back to camp, there's something I need to do.
Tu vois pas que je peux toutes les flatter. Hey, ma deuxième brique jaune. Meeting.
All right, everyone. It's no secret that my role in our band is changing. What each of you has done to help me find peace in that is more than anyone deserves. And the time has come for me to say that serving each of you as point has been just... Being your point has been the privilege of my life. I've loved every minute of it. But in every ending, there's a new beginning. She's been doing the job since we got here, and the time has come for us to congratulate Bryn on formally becoming your point.
Well deserved.
She's been exceptional. We're in great hands.
Bryn, care to say a few words?
I wanted this role for so long that, truthfully, the band I got it for didn't matter to me. But you've all taught me that this role means nothing without good people to serve.
It's crazy to think I ever doubted you. But you were made for this. I'd follow you anywhere.
I couldn't ask for someone better to pass the torch to.
Thank you, Aurea. That means everything.
You earned it. And I should have done it a while ago. It was just hard to let go.
Et j'ai mon poste officiel. Et parfait. Donc ça va compléter la session d'aujourd'hui. Là, ce qui se passe avec la quête, une des quêtes principales de l'histoire qui m'empêche de continuer, ça me refroidit un peu pas mal. Je vais continuer par là, mais là, si je suis bloqué, je vais malheureusement pas voir la fin du jeu avant que le problème soit réglé. Je vais essayer de m'informer un peu hors live, hors vidéo aussi. Donc, je voulais vous remercier pour votre support. On va continuer encore une prochaine fois avant de commencer un nouveau jeu.